Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here. It's Thanksgiving week. We've got a big week of travel and a big storm system, though it's not a winter storm. I'm hearing all these people worried about this massive winter storm. This is not a winter storm. This is mostly going to be a rain event for most of the country, but it is going to bring some pretty winter-like changes going into the weekend. So travel day, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday's wet and soggy. We're going to talk about that. So if you are traveling on the holiday, that's probably going to be the worst weather, honestly, especially on the East Coast. So let's get right to what's happening today. We've got one cold front. This is not a really strong one. It did produce some showers this morning. Just FYI, it's going to dry out completely today and for most of tomorrow. Now, we're watching this big storm system out west. This is the system we're concerned about. It is producing some snow in the mountains of the west, but nothing out of the ordinary. Denver probably going to see the worst weather of any metropolitan area. So yeah, there's always travel issues around Thanksgiving just because of the volume of people. Even if you took out every ounce of weather on the planet, there would be travel issues. So just assume there's going to be some. But there's no significant storm that's going to impact the big cities, and I'll show you why. Something I am watching, though, very carefully is the chance of some strong storms. Let's get into that. So as this big storm moves across the country, it could produce some strong storms. So tomorrow, this is the day two, what we call severe weather outlook. So this is for your Wednesday. You see the low risk across the Mid-South. But let's go to Thanksgiving Day. And you notice across the Southeast, there is a low risk of severe storms. It does include areas along and south of I-85. Now, do I think this is a huge risk? No, but it kind of shows you how strong this frontal boundary is. As it pushes to the east, it is going to bring in some pretty dramatic changes. And if there's enough heat and humidity, which there could be, we could be near 70 in some parts of the Carolinas on Thanksgiving Day. That could produce some strong storms. So let's get right to the forecast. All right, let's start with the national view because a lot of people are traveling. So this is starting today. We'll go through tonight and we'll go into Wednesday. Wednesday, typically the big travel day, but more and more people are moving or traveling now on Tuesdays. Wednesday is, a big travel day still, but Tuesday is pretty big as well. So you see our storm. This is tonight, trying to develop into tomorrow. This is our system. So this is basically 8 p.m. tomorrow night. I'll back this up during the day tomorrow. There's not a lot going on in the country. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. All this hype of some big winter storm affecting travel. If it's on Wednesday, there's no big storm. It really isn't. It's kind of Wednesday night into Thursday. It's more of a Thanksgiving Day storm, if you will. So for folks traveling on Thanksgiving, certainly there's going to be a storm, and you can see it developing here early Thanksgiving morning. And there's not a lot of wintry weather. Yes, there's a little bit of snow on the north side of this. This is primarily all rain. Now, I talked about the severe weather risk, and this is what I'm talking about for tomorrow afternoon in the Carolinas and the Southeast. You see this cluster of storms. This is the strong front moving through. And again, I do anticipate maybe the possibility of some strong storms as it moves through. As we go through Thanksgiving Day, there's just not a lot of wintry weather. I mean, people see the snow on the map and freak out, but this is marginal. This is going to be wet snow, if anything, which means it's just white rain. Basically, the roads will be wet, not messy. Air travel wise, yeah, any precipitation is an issue, but this is Thanksgiving Day, not on Wednesday. So not big issues for Wednesday. It's really going to be Thanksgiving Day. And just to kind of reiterate that, here is the winter storm impact outlook for Thanksgiving Day. You could see everything's on the lowest of low end. Just a few areas of gray on the map, nothing too big of a concern. We'll go to Wednesday. Denver, like I said, the front range of the Rockies, the only area that sees some impacts from wintry weather. Most of the country is going to be just fine. This is not a huge weather issue for Wednesday. It's really Thanksgiving Day. And it's this area I'm watching for severe weather. So if you are traveling on Thanksgiving Day in the Southeast, especially by car, something to keep in mind, you're going to definitely have the possibility of some strong thunderstorms. And we'll go back to something I've been looking at, what we call Cape thunderstorm fuel. You see tomorrow that little perk in parts of Louisiana up into Mississippi and Alabama. Then we go into Thanksgiving Day, and you can see there is enough fuel for some isolated thunderstorms. Again, nothing off the charts, certainly no spring type setup. But again, there's that low risk of severe storms across the Southeast with enough fuel for scattered thunderstorms. Now, the attention behind this system is once this system moves through, we get a big cold air mass, basically the coldest air of the season. And let's be honest, it's been a really warm fall. So this is going to be a shock to the system. Got, big area of low pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And you're starting to see that cold air spilling down in the Southeast. So this will be by far the coldest air of the season. Likely a good hard freeze for everybody. We have not seen that yet. But again, this weekend is the beginning of December. It's December 1st. It's supposed to be cold, right? I mean, I'm not going to downplay the cold, but it is December 1st on Sunday. So just remember that. It is supposed to be cold this time of year, and we are going to see a pretty big shock to the system. I'll turn off all the layers here real quickly, and we'll kind of show you that outlook because the amount of precipitation is going to be close to zero, but we are going to see cold air. This is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, well below average temperatures here. Let me go 6 to 10 days. There you go. Dark blue. So you see all that? That's well below average temperatures. So that's a really cold air mass for this time of year. We will see temperatures about 15 to 20 degrees below average, meaning highs in the 30s and 40s, morning lows in the teens and 20s. Certainly cold, but not the Arctic midwinter outbreaks we have. This was the middle of January, February. This be some serious cold, and we'd be talking about power grid issues and all that stuff. We're just not talking about that right now. Real quickly, I just want to show you what this looks like on the maps as far as below average readings. There it is. This is the anomaly. Temperatures below average are in darker shades of purple or blue. You see on Monday into Tuesday, there's the worst of it over the southeast. So you see that. In some cases, 20, 25 degrees below average for early December. Again, this is December 3rd, remember, as we go into next Tuesday. So yeah, pretty cold air, a couple shots of it. Stays pretty cold for most of next week. But then by next weekend, we're starting to warm right back up. So again, be prepared. If you haven't like winterized your house, your garden, your car, those kind of things, it's probably time to do that now before next week. Winterize irrigation system, the hoses, spigots, all that kind of stuff. The kind of temperatures we're talking in Charlotte, we're probably talking just real quickly to look at the temperatures. This is the blend of models. We're near 70 on Thanksgiving Day. By this weekend, highs are only in the 40s. And early next week, highs are in the low to mid 40s. That means we spend most of the day in the 30s and the morning lows down into the low 20s possibly. So a hard freeze. Records are in the teens, so this would not be record breaking, but certainly coldest air of the season. And the fact that we haven't had a freeze yet in Charlotte is pretty stunning. If we make it to Saturday, that would be top 10 latest on record. The latest freeze of record in Charlotte is December 10th. So that's the latest we've gone into the season without having a freeze. So there's a chance we will be in the top 10 because we haven't had a freeze yet in Charlotte. So be safe. Happy Thanksgiving. I will be working all week posting updates about the weather. If you're traveling tomorrow, no major weather issues. But if you are traveling Thanksgiving Day, be ready for rain. And in Charlotte, be ready for rain on and off all day with strong storms possible in the afternoon, especially the further south you go.